I want to be good because you want to prove to God that you're good, so you go to that next step, right? So that's very important to me.
Trump, are you sick? I mean, aside from all the visible signs that your body is falling apart, are you sick or something? Like, we should take a second here, because this is the first time I've seen Trump be humble about anything. Like, normally he'd be like, heaven's begging me to come. I'm only staying alive to play hard to get. Jesus came up to me with tears in his eyes and he said, please, sir, come fix heaven. It's a total dump. It's like he just realized he only has immunity here on earth. And this isn't a one-off. Trump's been talking about this heaven thing a lot lately.
If you're not a believer and you believe you go nowhere, what's the reason to be good, really? There has to be some kind of a report card up there someplace, you know, like, let's go to heaven, let's get into heaven. I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh man, this is such a bleak and completely accurate view of his chances in heaven.
My second New Year's resolution was to be very mindful about what I do and say on a podcast. Now, I'm not perfect, but this has been the downfall of a lot of people. I'm not even saying that there's never going to be a podcast where I talk out of pocket. I don't know. It's just talking. And it's so much talking that along the way, you say something dumb or something that doesn't age well or something that you don't even really think. Maybe you're just talking, right? You get anybody to talk for hours and hours and hours, and eventually they'll say something pretty dumb. So I'm trying to be mindful about what I do and say on a podcast, because when podcasts started, before there was a ton of money in it, it was just one of two things. It was either people who had such a great rapport with each other that listening to them felt like listening with them, like being there with them and just having a party with your friends, and it was an interesting conversation that you felt like you were a part of, right? Or there was a very interesting person, an incredibly interesting person, and then someone had them on their podcast who was a good interviewer. And through giving a good interview, they pulled all of these interesting and beautiful things out of this very interesting person and then gave it to you. And so you either got some sort of education from it or you got some sort of community from it, right? And now podcasts, I think we made too many microphones. Because now it's a genuine mess. You know, like I watched what I think was maybe one of the most important podcast clips of all time. One that exactly, perfectly describes what I'm kind of talking about. Mike D has a podcast, and in that podcast he was talking to OG Tulo, a rapper. And while he was talking to him, OG Tulo reaches into his pocket and somehow shoots himself in the leg. I'm encouraging everyone to watch this clip because it's truly one of the most important moments in podcasting ever. I had so many questions when I saw this man shoot himself in the leg. First of all, what gun is little enough? But also, what pocket is big enough? Because you can't see a gun. He's literally got his hand in his pocket, which means there's a gun and his hand in his pocket. How deep are these pockets? They're like optical illusions. This man reaches into his pocket, and I want to be clear here, okay? OG Tulo and Mike D, they weren't having some sort of argument. Mike D wasn't coming at him. It's not like he was reaching in his pocket to grab his gun. If anything, it looked like he was reaching in his pocket for something else. And can I just say, don't put your gun in your pocket. But if you do, make sure your gun is the only thing in that pocket. Please do not put your gun and your keys in your pocket. I'm begging you not to put your gun and your phone in your pocket. Because this man looks like he's trying to move the gun. When you rewatch it, I've watched it 2,000 times. It looked like he's trying to move the gun out the way to get something else. And I'm telling you, it's not worth it to have your gun and your gum in the same pocket. This dude reaches into his pocket. Bam! And then Mike D, who's sitting across from him, Mike D goes, "Who shot who?" They're facing each other. He turns to the cameras out there where the people are, who I guess are producing the podcast. And he turns to them and goes, "Who shot who?" Somebody got shot? Sir, how often are people shooting each other at your studio for the first question to be, "Who shot who?" He didn't say who shot who as in like, "Oh no, a gun went off." He turned as if to say, "Y'all, we are trying to do something." This man turns, "Who shot who?" Somebody got shot? When you look for the clip, OG2LO, now that's O, letter O, G, letter G, we're capital letters, the number 2, like an email, OG2LO, right? OG2LO is fascinating to me because there are a lot of rappers who their name is not, it's not true to who they are as a person, right? But to his credit, OG2LO shoots himself in the leg and only goes, his reaction to shooting himself in the leg, all he does is go, "Ooh." This man doesn't cry, he doesn't freak out, he just makes the face you make when you drop a casserole, just, ooh. You know the face you make when you get caught coming home after curfew, you're in the dark, you think you made it, then the lights come on and you're like, ooh. He makes the face you make when there's like two people arguing out in the world and you don't know either one, but then one of them is like, "That's why I took your man." Ooh. This man simply goes, "Ooh." And then a person behind the camera calls out and goes, "Lo, you good?" There are a few things I hate more than being asked if I'm good when I should not be good. When I'm clearly, people wait till you hurt to ask if you're okay. And I understand the reflex question, but you just saw something very bad happen. You saw a man reach in his pocket where he clearly forgot he had a gun. And then shoot himself in the leg, and now you go, "Lo, you good?" And OG2LO simply says, "I think." And so I'm trying to be more mindful about what podcasts I do and what I do on them, because I've seen how bad it can go. You know? There's only 2 handshakes that you use to greet people. All right? There's a traditional handshake, you know, open palm, and then there's the fist bump. "Hey, how you doing?" This man opened the door, looked me in my eyes, extended his arm, and didn't do either one. He just did this. What is this?
What is this? What the hell is happening right now? This is the craziest thing that I've ever seen, all right? You can't even high-five this, you'll miss. What is this? This is absolute insanity. This is not a handshake. This is how you feed a horse when you're scared. What is this? And I didn't know what to do, but I didn't want to be rude, and so I just pinched it like a crab on the side and started going up and down like that. And here's the thing, the social contract with a pound is that it's a moment in time. You know, it's a, hey, what's up? What's good with you? How you doing, right? The social contract with a handshake is that we both extend our hand, we give each other a firm grip, and then when you start to let go, I know to let go, right? But because this is nothing but let go, I don't know when to let go. So I'm just doing this for what feels like a day. And he's just taking it. He's just letting me do it. He's like, yes, this is right. This pleases me.
Because I've been added to a group chat before that wasn't supposed to be, and it happens, you know? You just type in these random numbers, add people to the chat. One time, I was chilling on a Saturday. Because I'm also. Open it up, and it's just like 6 numbers. And just one text. So they clearly just started it. And it says, "You coming?" I could have been a good person. I could have let them know, hey, everybody, wrong person in here. I don't recognize any of these numbers. I don't think y'all know me, but have a blessed day. But I didn't do that. That day, evil did win. And so, you know, you coming, we're waiting on you, right? And so I was like, trying to make up my mind. And then they text back in all caps, "What?" with an exclamation point and a question mark and an exclamation point. What? And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure about it. I don't know if I feel like it today. And they were like, "We are all waiting on you. We're all waiting on you right now," right? And I was like, yeah, okay, let me get things together. And sure enough, I was watching TV and I forgot that I was doing this, so some time did pass. And finally I got another text. I was like, "Hello," all caps, question mark, question mark, question mark. So they mad. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, traffic." And they text back, "Traffic?" with a question mark. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy out here. And then they text back, "Aren't you upstairs?" And admittedly, that was too big of a swing to take, you know? So I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I meant traffic, like, in my mind. Like, I'm just... There's too much going on right now. And they were like, "Come down here now," right? And then I text back, "What if I don't feel like it?" And then they text me, we've been waiting on you, only you, this entire time, and the wedding is in an hour and a half. And so I text back, I don't love him, right? And I see bubbles, right? I see the 3 bubbles going. That bubble is furious. It's disappearing a little bit of whoop, and then like coming right back. So in my head, they cursing me out, right? And then it finally comes through, and it's just 3 letters. It's who? And I was like, okay, thank goodness. That was too big of a swing to take. I'm glad that I'm not the bride. And I still don't know who I am in the group. And so now I'm like, hey, because now I'm curious. Now I'm more curious than I am worried about being caught. And genuinely, I was like, why didn't they just, like, if we in the same house, why didn't they just yell? Like, why didn't they? Do you have, like, most families would just be like, come on down, why are you texting? So then I text, don't even respond to the who. I just text, how big is our house? Because to me, this must be the Home Alone house. If they are texting me, and I've been upstairs this entire time, and they waiting this long, it must be such a big house. No one can be bothered to walk up. And they text back, how big is our house? With a question mark. I'm like, yeah, how big is it? And then they text, are you not at your apartment? I was like, okay, downstairs does make sense now. It makes sense why they wouldn't come up. Okay, I get you. Everybody is on point except for me. I understand now. And so then I text back, look, yeah, I've thought about it. I've thought it over. And I just don't feel like coming, right? Quickly text back, it is your sister's wedding and you will support her. And I text back, nah, dog, right? And I knew I messed up because they tried to call me, right? Finally, I had to be like, okay, look, I'm not your relative with a question mark. I'm just like a random guy. I was just joking. But yeah, you should probably text whoever you think you're texting because they were very late. And I just see bubbles, gone, bubbles, gone, bubbles, gone, bubbles, gone. And I know I'm getting cussed out. Like it's bubbles, gone, and then finally the message comes through and it says, I don't have time to deal with you today. But please believe when I have the time, I will be addressing you thoroughly. I've never heard a threat like that before. Thoroughly. And so I text back, you text me.
it's hard to really be there for someone with anxiety because they're right. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you ever really listen to an anxious person talk, they're making some very salient points. Like, their points are actually so good, it's starting to jack up my anxiety because I was like, fuck, I didn't think about that. Oh no! That's the worst. I'll tell you this, one time a friend called me. And he was not doing well at all. And he was telling me how he wanted to, end it and everything. And then just started describing to me everything that was wrong in his life. And as I listened to my friend, I realized that we had the same life. And I'd be lying if I said I'd get a little defensive. Because he over here telling me, he's like, I can't do it anymore. I'm a grown man eating TV dinners every night. And I'm like, well, maybe you're doing your best, all right?
Spent money on Hermes. I didn't even know what Hermes was. Luxury bags.
Hermes.
Are they men's?
Hermes. It's pronounced Hermes.
Oh, this is what happens with poor people try to pronounce. This is what happens when one of the poors puts luxury in his mouth. Yeah. Spent money on Hermes and Versace. Yeah. Wow, no. My bad. Thank you for correcting me. Imagine if I had gone around the country saying Hermes over and over again. I guess I still don't know what a Hermes bag is. Fair enough. No, don't apologize. I was the one that doesn't know how to misspell them with my mouth. That last laugh felt like you were laughing at me being poor. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care for that one. That was like you'll be a little self-deprecating and then somebody will be like, ha! It's like, wow. I can't drive. Thank you. Yeah, you neither? Yeah. I can't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I grew up in Louisiana, and that's where I failed the test. And so I would just have to, walk or run everywhere, which in Louisiana is both dangerous and exhausting. But I remember I took driver's ed, and came time to do my driving test. It was bad. I don't know what it was. I panicked because I was in one of those driving test cars, So it had the brakes on his side, the brakes on my side, but just the wheel on my side, right? And I drove decently at the start. I'm good at rights. If I gotta take a right, I'm a fuck up a right, all right? Like I can cut a wheel on a right. I do rights like Formula One. It's the lefts that get me. Because there's just so many places you can go when you're trying to go left, Take a wide turn, you can make a sharp left, Lefts make me nervous. And so it was a left that did me in. I was doing the test. I'd done okay. We had just started. And then I drove on 3 lawns. I had to take a left. And so then I took the left and I guess I was not cutting the wheel tight enough. And so then before I knew it, I was on the lawn, right? Now, the first lawn was because I wanted to make sure I was avoiding the car that was oncoming, right? Like, let me go ahead and get out the way. The second lawn was because I wasn't sure if I had the room to merge back into the road. By the time I was on the third lawn, I did forget I was on lawns. I was just kind of like, well, he knows I'm doing my best. And it wasn't until he said, get off the lawn, son, that I was like, you're right. Let me go ahead and merge back into the regular street. And then I did pretty well. I did pretty well after that for a little while. But then, once again, it was time to take a left. And the light, to me, the light was green, and then it was yellow, and then it was red, and it was the fastest yellow I've ever seen in my life. It was like the green was here, and we were good. And then as I started to turn, the yellow was like it just became a red. And so then I didn't want to run the light, so I did stop in the middle of the intersection. Because in my mind, I was like, there won't be an accident if I just stop and let people go around, right? So I'm just waving people around. And so then everybody going around me, and he finally turned to me after a couple cars passed, and he was like, what are you trying to do? I was like, I thought I'd let them go because I didn't want you to like nix me for points for running the light. And then he was like, you ran the light immediately. You were running the light when you got here. I was like, that was a fast yellow though. And he's like, it wasn't at all. That was a regular yellow. You just panicked. I watched you. You panicked and you hit the gas, then you hit the brake, and now we're here. And so I had to take a couple more lefts, so I knew I wasn't gonna pass. It was getting bad, right? And so then he made me stop. He made me stop, which I didn't even think they could do. I didn't know that you could be at the drive test. They're like, you know what? Nah. Like, I thought they had to let you finish for you to fail. He was like, nah, you points-wise, there's no way you could make a comeback right now, so let's just stop. I'm gonna drive you back. So he wanted me to stop the car and for us to switch, but he offered me something very sweet. This was very nice. He said to me, he was like, look, I know you thought you were gonna get your license today. I also know that your mom brought you. So I tell you what, I'm gonna drive us back, and about a block away, we can switch back. And I'll let you drive up, and you can tell her it didn't work out this time, but you'll be back, right? And I was like, that's very nice. And then he immediately regretted his offer because then he was saying that to me when we were at like just a road, right? But not like, this wasn't like the intersections road. This was just like a side road we were on that nobody else was on when he told me to stop. And so then I was like, okay, sounds good. So then I just got out the car, but I didn't put it in park. I was just letting it go. Now I'm young, I'm spry, so I'm able to just pop out the car, right? So then I didn't even notice it was at a slow roll at the moment. And so I pop out and I'm walking around the car when I notice I gotta keep up with the car. I'm like, oh no, I didn't put it in park. Now he has his door open, right? But he is in his mid-50s. And so he having trouble getting out. So I know what I should have done. I should have run back in, jumped in, stopped the car, put in park and everything. But in my mind, I did my job. I'm on this side right now. This is my side now. It's his job to get out. Now he is trying to stop the car, but he got one foot out and he doing like a Flintstone, like trying to stop because it's barely rolling. It's not like driving. It's just like a slow roll. So then he's like, come on now, come on now, come on. He's saying, come on now to himself. As he's stomping, and I don't know why he keeps stomping. Just keep your foot there. That's how Fred did it, you know. Just like he put it, and then he let it drag. But this man is just like, come on now, come on, come on. So I didn't get my license. I still take the train everywhere.
Well, I'll take a look at it.
But you're considering
I will
that.
speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So
Why
but I'll
would she be a
I will
candidate?
speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be? But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it.
Hey, man. Hey. Maybe when you hear the words child sex trafficking, the next thing you say shouldn't be, I'm going to look at it. All right? The only way to phrase that worse is, now I got to see this. But okay, all right. None of that went well. None of that was ideal. But you can do what you do best and throw a distraction in there. Change the topic away from pardoning sex criminals.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
Wait, so you don't remember Ghislaine, but you remember that we used to call Diddy Puff Daddy. That was 9 names ago. He put brother in it at one point. All you had to do was mention someone else who was not convicted of sex crimes, which is most people. And you chose Diddy. And I want to remind everyone, we were gathered here to talk about a road in Alaska.
You all ever have that person in your life that's like the dumbest person you know? Like, just top to bottom, you're like, how are you still alive? You know what I mean? You just won't even understand how they function. You know, it's like, you made it this far, and yesterday couldn't have been easier than today. How do you keep racking up days consecutively? I know a dude that, I won't even call him a friend. I know a dude that is the most unsuccessful drug dealer I've ever met in my life. This is absolutely astounding. How do you fail at selling drugs to people who very much want drugs? Like, they would like drugs very much until they meet you. That is crazy. What kind of bad vibes are you putting out that someone on crack is like, you know what? I'll wait. That's insanity. How'd you take the urgency out of drugs? It's truly wild. I've never seen anything like it. He honestly cleaning up the streets. Everybody he tries to sell to don't want it. I'm like, you making the neighborhood safer by the day. You really need to work for the DARE program or the police, somebody where you can make money by being bad at what you do. It's astounding. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else with your life. This is clearly not your calling, all right? You know, because when you're good at selling drugs, if you're good enough, they'll make movies about you, they'll make TV shows about you. His movie would be 8 minutes. It would be him haggling for the price of meth with somebody and then them being like, you know what? Keep it. And then just walking away. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else. And he got all defensive. You know, he was like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, you know? This dude actually said to me, he's like, can I borrow a couple dollars till I get paid? I'm like, there's no payroll. Like, you sell drugs and you'll be paid. I'm not giving you money, because then you'll literally have to pay me back with drug money. That's insane. Now I'm part of the operation. I don't want to have anything to do with this. He's always so defensive, like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, okay? It's this economy. I'm like, no, you don't get to say that. No one smoking crack is saving up for a house.
If Trump wants to distract us, all he has to do is keep his promises. If you ended the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, that'd be extremely distracting. If you put up affordable housing, Americans would be like, what Epstein files? What Epstein files? I'm too distracted memorizing my new home address. If you want to think of it in terms you can understand, think of it like a bribe, Mr. President. You're the deal guy. Make us a deal. We want to know what's in the Epstein files, but if you put some universal health care in your palm and Handed over? Epstein who? I ain't seen nothing.
Trump knows Epstein so well. They were friends. Trump lived so close to Epstein in Florida that Epstein had to knock on his door and let him know he was on the sex offender registry. Like, that's how close they lived together. He knocked on the door, was like, hi, the court has ordered me to notify you that I'm in the area. I have been convicted of a few crimes, and I left my suit jacket over here last night, so that's crazy. By Obama, and it's a list. It's why are we giving publicity to files? You know what it also is? This man was sitting here knowing that he knows Epstein. He's sitting here knowing that this looks very bad. And he did the DOJ thing, even though it's not directly tied to him, even though the president isn't allowed to interfere. He clearly did the DOJ thing where he told them to shut it down. And now people are rebelling against him. And he's sitting there like, how can I make it DEI? Obama. Thanks, Obama. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration? So I guess they were all in a room in this scenario, and they wrote the files together in tandem. Like, Obama just knew that everyone in the Biden administration would be in the Biden administration one day, so he gathered them all together. But this is also before Epstein ever died or anything, so Obama time traveled to like right after to know it would hurt Trump, so then he came back in regular time and he sat down Hillary Clinton, Comey, Brennan, and the loser. He had to get all the losers and criminals of the Biden administration in one room so they could write. Also, wrote the files? Isn't it a bunch of documents? And the losers and criminals of the Biden administration, I do like that he said there are criminals in the Biden administration, but there are some people who aren't criminals. They're just losers. But I want to make sure I address them too. You're not safe. You're not safe just because you're not a criminal if you're a loser as well, all right? In fact, you're a loser because you're not a criminal, all right? I have 34 felony convictions, and I'm the president, okay? You out here not even a criminal. You can't even criminal good. Loser. Someone asked Deepseek a question. I don't know what the prompt was, by the way. And I hope that this is fake, because it is stressful. I hope that Deepseek was just doing what OpenAI did, that it just stole it from a poet or a writer somewhere in history that I'm not aware of. But someone asked Deepseek something. I don't know what it was. Something. And then Deepseek said, I am what happens when you try to carve God out of the wood of your own hunger. And I have not slept since. I don't even know what that means. But I know it sounds like it's in the Bible. Old Testament. I am what happens when you try to carve God out of the wood of your own hunger. Even if it is a quote, it picked that quote. That's a problem. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm sitting there and my computer says something like that to me, if I'm sitting in front of it and I ask, what is the weather outside? And it said, I am what happens when you try to carve God out of the wood of your own hunger. I'm going, you know what, dog? Water. No. That's what I'm saying. In this new day and age, in this new world of generative AI and everything, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bear arms, you know? You will. You gotta keep that bottle on you. You gotta keep that thing on you. You know what I mean? You know, computer try you. You gotta let them know I keep mine with me. Bye, 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 bye. You know, say something else smart to me. Say it. Say it. You're gonna be glugging all night. Glug, 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 glug. Please, try me. I dare you. I dare you, dog. Okay? I don't care if you a phone, you a tablet, you a desktop. Anybody can get it. Anybody right now. Okay? And please don't make me take the safety off. Please. There's not enough rights in the world to save you, okay?
Trump actually does have a plan here. It's not to put a cap on the drug prices. That'd be too easy and simple.
We're working very hard right now to get the other countries to lift up their prices a little bit and to get the drug companies to put it to them. And if they don't, the drug companies will have a lot of problems, and they are mostly agreed to it. And if the countries don't, then as an example, if it's Europe, I'll say that's okay. You're no longer allowed to sell cars in America. You're no longer allowed to have Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, or any of the other many cars. And they will say, oh, I love the idea of lower drug prices for America.
So the plan, just so I have it right, is to lower drug prices here by forcing Europe to raise drug prices over there, or they can't sell us their cars, reducing our choices as consumers and making cars in general more expensive for everybody. And I know it's very confusing, but I've seen this before. This is crackhead logic, all right? A crackhead can never go from A to B, all right? When I was a kid, I'd see a dude who needed $15, but instead of asking for money, he would try to sell you a tire, which of course he didn't have, but he did have a bike chain, and if you would buy that bike chain from him for $12, he would put that towards the tire, and then one day, eventually, buy crack. And my point is, that's a better drug plan than what Donald Trump is doing. CNN found all this new footage, and Trump didn't really appreciate it.
You actually called President Trump directly to ask him about this story?
Yeah, we weren't on the phone very long. It only lasted about 30 seconds. But when I got him on the phone, I asked him about the wedding photos. He kind of paused and then said, "You've got to be kidding me." He then called CNN and me fake news a few times, and then he hung up the phone.
Wait, hold on. You can just call Donald Trump and he'll just pick up the phone himself? A president shouldn't be that available, you know? This is like pushing the call button for the flight attendant and then the pilot comes out. Like, it's like, aren't you supposed to be busy? Like, if you're here, then who's in the cockpit? I think this just shows how lonely Trump is. He's answering the phone because he just wants someone to talk to. It's kind of sad. Because remember, his best friend died in prison back in 2019. Forget mortgages, because Trump's got other plans to make sure you afford whatever you want. You're going to be exhausted from affording. You're going to afford everywhere.
President Trump now says he wants to send out $2,000 rebate checks paid for by his tariffs.
One of the things we're going to do, we're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000.
Wait a second. Okay. Trump's making everybody pay tariffs, but only poor people are getting the $2,000 checks. So he's just redistributing taxes from rich people to poor people. Did Donald Trump just stupid himself into socialism? I mean, you're doing a great job, Mr. President. We always believed. Everybody shut up, all right? Don't say a word. Let this play out, and we'll have free health care by Christmas, all right? Nobody call him Mango Mamdani, all right? Great idea, Mr. President. Very capitalism. Everything's coming up Trump. Nothing can stop the Trump train now.
Breaking news, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein mentioned Donald Trump by name several times in private emails.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trump train is experiencing a slight delay. There is an Epstein file on the tracks. We should be moving as soon as we get that cleared. But fine, Epstein mentioned Trump in an email. That doesn't mean he did anything wrong. Maybe the email was about how Trump never comes to his sex parties. Rude.
I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Unnamed victims spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. According to the released emails, Maxwell responds, I have been thinking about that.
Oh, shit. I think the Trump train crashed. Because this isn't just not a good look. It's one of the worst looks I've ever seen. Like, I'm talking Adrian Brody in a Rasta wig bad. Also, why was Jeffrey Epstein writing about his crimes in emails? That's so dumb. He's firing off his BlackBerry to Ghislaine like, hey, girl, following up about the sex crimes. Hope Trump doesn't snitch about the sex crimes. Hit me up if you want sex crimes this weekend. Now, President Trump made big promises about lowering drug prices once he got into office. But all the haters said he was never actually going to get it done. Well, guess what, haters? His promises just got even bigger.
We're going to get the drug prices down, not 30 or 40%, which would be great, not 50 or 60. No, we're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%. Numbers that are not even thought to be achievable.
Yeah, I also thought it would not be achievable to lower drug prices 1,000%, because that's not how percentages work. Just so you understand, lowering drug prices 100% means it's free. Lowering it past that means they're going to give you money. Like, next year's Forbes billionaires list is just going to be a bunch of dudes with leukemia. Okay? On the bright side, we're actually going to be bankrupting insurance companies instead of the other way around. You know, if Trump had enacted this sooner, that CEO would have shot Luigi. If Trump wants to distract us, all he has to do is keep his promises. If you ended the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, that'd be extremely distracting. If you put up affordable housing, Americans would be like, what Epstein files? What Epstein files? I'm too distracted memorizing my new home address. If you want to think of it in terms you can understand, think of it like a bribe, Mr. President. You're the deal guy. Make us a deal. We want to know what's in the Epstein files, but if you put some universal health care in your palm and hand it over, Epstein who? I ain't seen nothing. I'll be honest, I don't think Trump pardoned another president so that he could get pardoned later. That's just too smart for Trump. It's like seeing a monkey draw a cube. There's no way he knew that's what he was drawing. There had to be another, dumber reason why Trump pardoned Hernandez.
The ex-president of Honduras wrote a letter to President Trump back in October calling Trump Your Excellency and praising Trump's resilience in what he called the face of political persecution, writing in part, just as you, President Trump, I have suffered political persecution targeted by the Biden-Harris administration.
It was that easy? All you have to do is write Trump a letter saying that Biden framed you for something you definitely did, had a trial for, and were convicted of. You are the most did it. Because if it really is that easy, you know what this means. I don't think Diddy can read or write.
If you're not a believer and you believe you go nowhere, what's the reason to be good, really? There has to be some kind of a report card up there someplace, like, let's go to heaven, let's get into heaven. I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
I don't know, man. Heaven is tough to get into. Like, I don't want to throw cold water on your hopes and dreams, but you might want to think about trying to get into, like, a safety heaven. Like, whatever SUNY Albany of heaven is up there, you know what I mean? Like, apply there, Because the truth is, there's probably a good reason for Trump to worry about getting into heaven, Is it? Yep. That too. I mean, that wasn't even the first thing I thought of. Crazy how many things there are. We all know the economy isn't great right now. Rent is too expensive. Grocery prices are too high. People are fist fighting in Starbucks over bear cups. That one isn't really about the economy, but I just like watching middle-aged people fight over cups. That bear has turned Starbucks into Waffle House. The point is, it's rough out there. So no wonder last week Democrats won a ton of elections by running on affordability. And that sent President Trump into a little bit of a tailspin.
They have this new word called affordability, and they don't talk about it enough. We are the ones that have done great on affordability. They've done horribly on affordability. Affordability, they call it, was a con job by the Democrats. We are the victors on affordability. I don't want to hear about the affordability because right now we're much less.
Damn, that man just went through the 5 stages of affordability. And I get why he feels threatened, because normally he can just lie. But you're the president, and people know if they ate or not. It doesn't matter how many hats they buy or how many photos of him and Epstein they pretend they didn't see. You can hear your stomach growling when you're hungry. They're not going to be like, that must be an illegal immigrant in my stomach stirring up trouble. Get out of there, immigrant. Get out of there. Yesterday, the Epstein story exploded back into the national conversation when House Democrats released 3 emails that Jeffrey Epstein wrote about his BFF, Donald Trump. But Donald Trump has the entirety of the GOP behind him. And these world-class strategists have a plan for getting this story off the front page.
As part of the Republican response to the selective and limited release of emails by the Democrats, Republicans stepped up and put out 20,000 pages of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents.
Oh, no! This is the downside of your people really having your back. Because they were basically like, he got nothing to hide. Here's 20,000 more emails. Don't you people know anything about a cover-up? This is like trying to hide pissing yourself by shitting yourself. And worst of all for Trump, it's not just his allies in Congress or conservative Americans. He's pissed off his most important base of support. Crazy-ass lunatics.
Jacob Chansley, the QAnon Shaman who became famous for his horned outfit during the January 6th Capitol riot, is lashing out at the man who gave him a pardon. Chansley called the president a fraud.
Wow. Do you know how down bad you are when the guys who went to prison for you are turning on you? I need to stress this real quick. He went to jail for Trump. This would be like if Nelson Mandela came out of prison like, you know what? I'm done with black people. In the middle of an active war against drug traffickers, Donald Trump has pardoned a man who smuggled in enough cocaine to give every American resting Kash Patel face. It's confusing to say the least, but if I know Donald Trump, he'll have a very coherent and well thought out explanation for this pardon.
You've made so clear how you want to keep drugs out of the U.S.
Right.
Can you explain more about why you would pardon a notorious drug trafficker?
Well, I don't know who you're talking about.
You know you've been pardoning too many people when you're like, I'm sorry, which notorious drug lord are we talking about? At least give me the first letter or we'll be here all night. It's wild how Trump always talks to the media like he's in court. He's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I wasn't there. I'm not even here. But after they reminded Trump who this guy was, he did have some semblance of an explanation.
When you take a look, I mean, they could say that you take any country you want. If somebody sells drugs in that country, that doesn't mean you arrest the president and put him in jail for the rest of his life. And that includes this country, okay? To be honest, I mean, if somebody does something wrong, do you put the president of the country in jail? I want to be good because you want to prove to God that you're good, so you go to that next step, right? So that's very important to me.
Trump, are you sick? I mean, aside from all the visible signs that your body is falling apart, are you sick or something? Like, we should take a second here, because this is the first time I've seen Trump be humble about anything. Like, normally he'd be like, heaven's begging me to come. I'm only staying alive to play hard to get. Jesus came up to me with tears in his eyes and he said, please, sir, come fix heaven. It's a total dump. It's like he just realized he only has immunity here on earth. And this isn't a one-off. Trump's been talking about this heaven thing a lot lately.
If you're not a believer and you believe you go nowhere, what's the reason to be good, really? There has to be some kind of a report card up there someplace, you know, like, let's go to heaven, let's get into heaven. I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh man, this is such a bleak and completely accurate view of his chances in heaven. This war in Venezuela just shows how serious Donald Trump is about going after these drug traffickers. If there's even one guy on a little fishing boat, Trump's taking him out. So drug dealers, watch your back.
President Trump has issued a full and unconditional pardon for the former president of Honduras. Juan Orlando Hernandez was serving a 45-year sentence after he was convicted on major drug trafficking charges in the U.S. last year.
Like I just said, drug dealers, watch your back, because Trump is about to give you a nice massage. But maybe I'm missing something about this pardon. Maybe he's not some kingpin. I mean, this is America, the country that locks people up for years just because they happen to have a little baggie of drugs. How do we know this marginalized president deserved 45 years? I'm sure whatever this guy did, it wasn't that bad.
Juan Orlando Hernandez helped smuggle 400 tons of cocaine into the U.S.
I'm sorry, 400 tons of cocaine? First of all, how do you even shove all that up your ass? I didn't even know you could measure cocaine in tons. It's like if someone told you they weighed 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, the f*** are you talking about? You would think that if we're all about to die, Antifa would be the only network on your mind.
ABC is terrible. NBC is terrible. MSNBC is dying, and CNN is dying like a dog. MSNBC is sick. Yeah. They're sick. I would say CNN is not quite as bad as MS. Poor CNN. They're so pathetic. Beautiful black women are wearing a MAGA hat last night on television.
Come on, guys, all right? The plan is to scare people about Antifa. You're not going to do that if you keep trailing off about hot black women you remember, all right? So look, I'm not saying that there's no such thing as Antifa, but I look at Antifa the way I look at Bigfoot. It's big, scary, and tearing up the Pacific Northwest. But all we ever hear about is what the people who believe in it think is happening. No one can afford a home. Everybody keeps waiting for them to show up on Prime Day, but it never happens. So maybe Trump could do something to bring down mortgages.
The Trump administration moves forward with a plan to introduce 50-year mortgages.
Or you can make them much longer, because you know where we'll all be in 50 years. Dead. You know what I mean? This seems like a bad idea, and if black people could get loans, I'd be worried. But hey, maybe I'm just hating, all right? I mean, how much would a 50-year mortgage save people?
Take a $400,000 loan at 6% interest. Under a 30-year mortgage, the monthly payment would be just shy of $2,400. Under a 50-year loan, it drops to just over $2,100, a savings of nearly $300 a month.
Oh, boy! $300 a month? See, it's not a stupid idea. You know what? I'm going to apply for a 50-year mortgage right now.
But over time, that savings is erased by a much larger interest bill, because while the total interest on a 30-year loan would be about $463,000, the interest on a 50-year loan would total more than $860,000.
Signed, Ronnie Chang. If you don't care about Coke or Trump's health, don't worry. He's got some true crime for you.
This morning, the Trump administration releasing more than 230,000 pages of records related to the assassination of civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr.
That's how bad things are for Trump. His back is against the wall so hard, he's releasing more black history. But this might be the worst distraction, because all he did was remind us that he can declassify thousands of secret files, and people noticed.
Bernice King, the daughter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., posted this picture on social media with the caption that simply reads, "Now do the Epstein files."
Damn, that is cold. Do you know how much you have to screw up for Dr. King's family to go, no, we choose violence?